Hello everyone, it's really nice to meet you all. We are Group VIP from PolyU. I'm Joey. You'll soon meet Vera, Kathy, Agnes, and Lydia in the coming parts. So as you know, this is an English video. Since you're going to have your DSE speaking test next year, we will focus on one DSE post-exam question in this video. Although we have analyzed a DSE sample question for you during our online workshop, we believe more examples can get you more familiar with both the discussion and individual response part in the test. So let's see this question first. This is a question from the 2017 DSE speaking test. The main part of this question is an article appeared on a blogger's webpage. It describes a blogger's hiking and camping at Sunset Peak, Lantau Island. So when you're free, you can read this article carefully, but basically it's about a hiking and camping experience. In this scenario, your class is thinking about organizing a night hike and camp on a mountain to celebrate graduation from school. And your task is to discuss the preparation for the trip with other candidates in the test. The right-hand side shows the 4 aspects you can talk about during discussion, and we'll analyze them for you one by one. Next, Vera will analyze the first aspect, why night hiking has become popular with students.
Now let's see the first discussion part, why night hiking has become popular with students. And first, we should focus on the characteristics of either hiking or the students. You could see that night hiking, it will give the beautiful scenery, and maybe it is challengeable, and maybe you could close to the nature by doing it, or it may temper the willpower. And let's see for students what they need. Maybe they have strong curiosity, and maybe they need to feel relaxed, maybe they're a nature lover, or maybe they think highly of their friendship. And so the basic sentence structure is to combine the characteristics of hiking with the students. For the students, they are tired of the daily study and feel stressed, and they would like to stay with their friends, and maybe they are curious about the unknown experience and their future lovers. And what night hiking could provide, and they could provide the beautiful scenery, the experience, the unknown challenge, or maybe it could provide a chance for the students to sleep in a tent and be close to the nature. And what you should remember is to contain others into the communication. And you could do this by asking, what do you think about this question? Have you got any experience of going hiking, something like this, to contain others into the communication? And let's see an example. In my opinion, the students like to go hiking because they are tired of the school life and daily study, and the beautiful starry night could make them feel relaxed. And what is your opinion about this? And I also give out the words you might use in this sentence. You could express your own opinion by using as I said, I believe that, or do the further explanation by using because, as, since that. And please think your own idea of the cause and use these words to organize your sentence.
Should not take on the trip. So when you answer this question, so you must focus on 3 words on the trip and you should take and should not take. So what is the trip about? If you look back at the question, you will understand the question is about the trip is about hiking and camping. So the question is what you should take and should not take. Then for you should take, it must be something convenient to carry, essential surprise, and it was something too valuables and necessary electronics that you should not take. So here is example that you should take and should not take. Just tents, LED lights, and campus and GPS device, and water and food, that you should take on this trip. So the jewelry and computer that you should not take on the trip. So here is something tips. So you can lead your groupmate to discover what you should take first and then discover what you should not take on this trip. So here is example that you should take. You can say, in my opinion, we should carry necessary and portable things such as tent and sleeping bag and take enough food and water when we are hiking and camping. In addition, carry a detailed map, compass and a charger mobile phone were needed for emergency. It's also important to bring a water bottle when we camping. We can refill the faucets at the campsite. So should not take. You can say, I think we should not bring excessive amount of anything because each item adds to our overall haul. For example, we should not take the computer because it is unnecessary in electronics. Meanwhile, we should not take the jewelry because this item can get lost and damaged easily.
I'm going to share with you how to answer this question. Any problems that you may face on the trip, I recommend to you guys to use the structure. Firstly talk about the problems that you may face, and then you can talk about your personal experience, when you have this experience and where is it, and how it happens and why it happens, and or you can share some examples and then give a solution to make you speak more. And when I will show you an example, and when I talking about food pain, I'm going to say like that. The problem that you may face is the food pain. And I remember several months ago, I went to climbing a mountain with my friends, and I almost spent the whole day working there. And maybe it's because that it is an unsuitable footwear, so I feel very painful after that day. And I even get a blister. So it is so terrible. So I recommend you guys, you must choose an appropriate footwear when you want to go hiking. So actually my answer is based on my personal experience, and I talk about when it happens and why it happens, and it is in a small mountains. And I give you a solution that we must choose an appropriate footwear. And let me show you one more example. The problems that we may face is a tiredness. And I remember several days ago, my roommate asked me to go hiking with her, but I was in the middle term at that time, so I slept late, and I actually didn't want to go there with her, but I finally went there with her, and but I am very tired. Maybe it's because that I didn't sleep there at the night before going hiking. So I recommend you guys, you must have a decent night's sleep before you decide to go on your big trek. One more point is that you do not need to push yourselves beyond your own limits. Just take a rest when you are not feeling well. And I also remain 2 more examples for you guys to practice for the bad weather and getting lost. Hope that you will know. And that's all.
The first point you need to discuss is anything else that you think is important. You may wonder how to generate a new point here, so I give you some tips. First of all, you have to think of your identity, which means who are you? In this question, you are one of the organizers of this trip. And the next thing you need to think of is your task, which means what do you need to do? And you need to organize a night hike and camp on the mountain to celebrate your graduation from school. After thinking of these 2 points, you may have some ideas now. For example, as an organizer, you want many people to join your trip, so you need promotion. When you think how to promote the trip, you may want to design a poster with some beautiful sunrise photos, so that if some student who originally doesn't think the trip will be interesting, after they look at the photos, they may now have the interest to join the trip. And the second point is how to make this trip more unforgettable, because it's your graduation trip. You may want to have a sharing session at night so that everybody may sit in a circle and to share their best school memories. Also, it is the best time for you to give blessings to each other, because you may have little time to stay with others in the future, so that it makes this trip be more meaningful. Lastly, I would like to give you a reminder. It is not necessary to add a new point here, so that if you don't have any idea, don't worry. And also, if your group doesn't have enough time to discuss this point, it's okay. You just focus on the first 3 points.
Then we'll analyze individual response part. Before we talk about the specific questions, let's see how to deal with individual response generally. Here is a graph I make for you. It's quite useful and it shows the 3 key elements in our individual response: ideas, experience, and knowledge. And actually, the biggest difference between the discussion part and the individual response part is experience. Because in discussion part, you directly express your idea on certain problem, right? But in individual response, we not only care about what your idea is, but more importantly, we want to know why you have such idea. And of course, your idea is based on your past experience and your knowledge. And experience is a more important one because it is unique to everybody. So we want to see how you can enrich your response with your personal experience. Keep this in mind and let's see a specific question. So this is a specific question you might encounter under this topic. Is it better to hike in a group or alone? So in the first sentence of your response, you need to give your attitude directly. I think hiking a group is better, or I think hiking alone is better. It gives the examiner a clear idea what your attitude is. And then you need to give your reasons. There are 2 possible ways. The first one is to express your personal ideas. What does that mean? If you think hiking alone is better, you can firstly describe the disadvantages of hiking a group and then show the advantages of hiking alone so that you can clearly demonstrate that hiking alone is a better idea, right? The second method is to use your experience to do the explanations. How? You can describe your experience of hiking alone one time and compare it with another experience when you are hiking a group, and then show how much more attractive hiking alone is, so that you can show that hiking alone is a better option. An even better method to answer this question is to combine your personal idea and your experience. By using this method, in the first part, you can describe your experience. And then in the second part, you can give your personal ideas as an effective conclusion. Here is an example of the response to this question. I think this is a very good one because it makes a perfect combination of personal experience and personal ideas. You can read this in your free time. And what I want you to do is to try to apply this method to other questions you might encounter. Try to combine your experience and your ideas effectively in your response. So these are some other questions under this topic. You can try them at home, and I think they are all very typical ones and worth trying. So after we do these analysis for you, I think you've mastered some useful methods to deal both the discussion part and the individual response part. So the rest of the thing you need to do is to do more practice. Practice makes perfect. This is absolutely true. And I believe after practicing many times, you'll definitely improve a lot. Okay? So this is the end of our video. Thank you for watching, and we wish you all the best in your DSE test in the coming year. We believe as long as you try your best to prepare for the test, you will make a very good score at the end and realize your dream. Add oil.